God, you know when you're anxious and say you can't even like do normal things. Like I've just said hello so many times before recording. I've gone hello, hello, hello. It's giving me the ick. But I thought we could spend the evening together, just me and you, because Rory, my boyfriend, he's gone out. I'm just here, and I just thought you could join me because I'm on my own. I haven't even had a bad day. This is what's frustrating, right? I just had a day where I feel anxious, and it's such a shame. Is it a shame? I can't really I don't know. It's so frustrating, right? I have had anxiety since I was so little that now I look back. I can't even really remember a time that I haven't displayed anxiety. Like even when I was like in nursery, I didn't want to go. I didn't like being separated from like my mom. Like I always just wanted to be at home. I've known I've had anxiety since I was about 17. I've known I've had ADHD since I was 28. I've known I've had autism since I was 31. So at the start, well, in like May this year, or March, can't remember. And I do all the right things, you know. I have therapy once a week, I meditate, I exercise like nearly every day, like 5 times a week. I get my steps in, I eat relatively well, I do all this shit, and it's really frustrating that no matter how much of the shit you do, the anxiety can still it still gets to you. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've built all these defences, and you're like, surely you can't get through, and it's like, I'm still getting there, babe, I've still got you. But one thing I must remind myself is that it doesn't get to me in the same way. Like when I was younger, I'd have a lot of like panic attacks, or I could be kind of taken out for a few days, whereas now I felt anxious this afternoon, and it's just like now the evening, I'm not still feeling anxious, which I'm very grateful for. I'm just feeling pretty tired. Why is my dad ringing me? God, my dad's retired, and now he just wants to be on the blower the whole time. I've got shit to do. And the only reason he's calling me is because basically he's in a lot of my brand deals, so I pay him to be in them, and he was like, oh, can you not pay me yet because I want to like collect my money up because I want to buy a phone. And I was like, okay, fine. And then this evening he was like, okay, I need the phone now. And I'm like, you can't just randomly come to me and be like, I want it now. That's not how this business works, babe. I can ignore his call because I know he's just calling me to be like he wants to buy himself something, which is not urgent. Oh yeah, so anyway, I thought basically you could spend the evening with me. It's been very chilled vibes, kind of post anxiety, and see what I do to kind of, I suppose, get myself back in the game. What I really try and do in these moments is I know that all I want to do is do things for like me right now. Like I don't want to look out for future me. I just want to make me now feel better. So like what I would do before is this is like prime time. And to be fair, I do still do this sometimes. Like, I'd just be like, I'll just go to the pub and have a glass of wine and it'll mellow it out, because I do know, annoyingly, that a glass of wine does sometimes, genuinely, I do just need a glass of wine and it does help just kind of mellow me out, and I can go again the next day. But you know, sometimes that's not, like sometimes on a Friday I've had a stressful week, I do quite like just to have that. It's like, it's as if when I have a glass of wine my brain is suddenly like neurotypical. I'm not questioning everything I do. I'm not overanalyzing everything. My OCD is quieter. So sometimes like a Friday I do look forward to that. Like I only ever have 2 glasses of wine, but I just have a few hours of no worrying about shit. But I know that's not like actually going to solve my problems. So basically, in these moments, quite often, I just want to do something that's a quick fix. So I just want to eat a load of chocolate, or I just want to drink some wine, or like buy a load of stuff on ASOS that I'm just going to have to return tomorrow when it arrives. But I'm trying to not do that. And I thought if you're here, I'll be held more accountable. But I'm also hoping along this way I can show you some tips for things that I do when I'm feeling a bit poo, because I'm 31. So I've been trying to sort this shit out for a while. So hopefully I'll have some kind of wisdom. First thing I do is think of future me. I know that after I've been anxious the next day, things are going to be a bit more difficult. So I try to do a few things that will help future me. Number one is the fact that I washed my hair this evening, and I did it kind of in the day so that it's got time to dry before this evening, because there's no way I'm going to want to use the hairdryer because that feels too claustrophobic and too loud. And also tomorrow I need to film things, so I can't have really greasy hair, and having greasy hair at the start of the day is going to stress me out because I'm going to be like, shit, all this to do, but I also need to wash my hair. So to treat future me, even though I couldn't be fucked to wash it today, I've washed my hair. And then what I'm going to do, let it air dry a bit more. I've put in some serums, and then I'm going to put it in French plaits. So then tomorrow I'll already have a style ready to go for work. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure you're like, what do you mean by work? And oh fuck, I've left stuff in the washing machine. I know that work for me is obviously like filming videos and stuff, but I have some brand deals that I need to film tomorrow, and I can't have greasy hair in them because that's pretty bad etty. So There we go. Another thing, when I'm feeling anxious, I know that anxiety is basically feeling like I can't control things, but I have to sit with that feeling because anxiety is basically trying to control things that you actually can't control. Like, I think it's through having autism that I have this desperate need. I want to be able to control all variables of my life so that I can handle them. And particularly what I'm doing, I'm going through like 17 subjects at once. What I'm working on at the minute through my meditation and through therapy is trying to let the thought of me not being able to control everything sit with me better. Like, accept what is, rather than like let my brain really ruminate on how I can try and control things. Like, I have to really learn to sit with the unknown and sit with the big feelings. So that's what I'm trying to do. One thing that is helpful is being very present, not worrying about next week, next month, next year, whatever else. Just thinking about today and thinking about the things that I actually can control. I can't control the people, I can't control things that are going to happen in my life, but you know one thing I can control? It's things like the tidiness of my house or the washing. So this is going to sound so pathetic and stupid, but I love doing the washing. Like, in our household, I'm in charge of the washing. I like having my little drawer here and making sure I've got my washing tablets and I've got my bleach and my whites. And I like putting everything on the radiators or putting things on my heated area. And I like that I handle this process from start to finish. I fold everything away, I put it away, and I like that it's a sense of achievement, because one thing that a neurodivergent brain thrives off of is a sense of achievement. So that's one thing I can control. Oh, another thing that I can control that is helpful is my sleep. Do you know what's so annoying? My mum used to always be like, try and have a good night's sleep, you'll feel better, try and have a good night's sleep. I used to be like, shut up, that's not going to help me, babe. I'm beyond that. But she was actually right. Going to bed at a good time, getting up at a good time, and having a routine, God, who knew that shit actually worked? So next up on this list is actually trying to make myself some sort of good routine. So what that's going to look like now is making sure that I have my dinner early enough that I'm not like going to bed when I've just eaten at like 11 p.m. So it's already 7:45, which is it's already a bit too late, but whatever, there's nothing we can do about that. So I'm going to make my dinner. Now, this dinner is going to horrify you, okay? But it's much better that I have something like this and I just get some random shit all evening. That is another key thing. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Have the actual meals, because otherwise you're going to just keep getting little bits all day and they're going to make you feel like poo, okay? Admittedly, this is a fucking random dinner. But Rory is the chef in our household and I hate cooking. So I saw this because I knew he was out tonight and I was like, I'll have that. This is so pathetic. Bird's eye, steam fresh mushroom tagliatelle. It's got one of my 5-a-day and I wasn't going to get any 5-a-days in the Halloween chocolates I was eating. So here we go. So how do I cook this? Place the bag on a microwavable plate with the vent side up. Vent side, what the fuck does that mean? Unopened in the microwave. What's the vent? Is that the vent, I presume? This is why I don't cook. Nothing's ever clear. Oh, sorry, the vent's there. A tip that I would give you is to eat something nutritious, but I'm not in a position where I want to cook anything, and this is better than whatever other shit I was going to put out. So you're going to have to just take this one with a pinch of salt. I'm as horrified as you are that I'm about to have tagliatelle and it's originated in a plastic bag in the microwave. That is just what's happening. Okay, what else can I show you that I do to relax? Actually, before I show you anything else, I'm also going to show you this. So look how cool this is. I got sent this. It's by like something called it's up there, Bura, but I'm sure you can get them anywhere. And it's a sad lamp. And I've already got one of these. I've got it's not a Lumi lamp, but it's something the equivalent in my bedroom. So I wake up to a sunrise and I can't explain how good it is. If you're someone that struggles to get up in the morning or feels shit when you get up, it's so good. So it gradually wakes you up to sunlight, and then I wake up to like bird songs and I feel like Snow White. I can't recommend that enough. If you see all these things of people being like, oh, you should get this, like all these like trends of shit. My parents bought me that for Christmas 3 years ago, and that is one of the best presents they've ever got me. Bar when they got me Kiki, my cat from Gumtree. R.I.P. my little Kiki, love you so much, miss you. I shouldn't have spoken about Kiki when I'm already feeling a bit down, because that could set me off. This is what I was going to show you. So something that I find really helpful when I'm feeling anxious is having a project, having something to focus on. And at the minute, mine is work. I'm going to show you what me and Rory are working on at the minute. Really exciting. You might know that I've got a podcast called Lousy Advice, but I'm also hoping that Lousy is going to be my brand as a whole. And we're starting off with like little trinkety things for like Secret Santa gifts, and then I'm hoping to go into other things down the line. But I just want to see if there's an appetite for it first. But I've thoroughly, even if no one buys anything anything and no one cares. I have thoroughly enjoyed this process, and I'm pleased with myself for having an idea and sticking with it. And I think this is another thing that causes me a lot of anxiety, is kind of being all fart, no poo. Oh shit, this is broken. This is just classic. This is me as a person right now. What was I going to say? Fuck, that's so annoying. Why is it broken? Oh, maybe these are the old ones that are broken. One thing I've found is I've always been all fart, no poo, which has always got me down that I'm not someone that follows through with things. But actually following through on things, again, is really helpful for like self-esteem, but also for anxiety, because I'm showing myself that I'm capable and that I'm strong and that I'm not someone that is easily defeated. So I've been really pleased with myself. I said I wanted to launch these things before Christmas, and it looks like I will be able to. Touch wood. If not, they'll at least come out next year. So I'm just really pleased with myself for that. So this is a sneak peek. So basically I've hand drawn, you're probably like, of course you've hand drawn, look at them, they look hand drawn, these mugs that we're going to sell that I just think make great little like stocking fillers or like Secret Santa gifts. So this says, please don't ask me to make you one. And then I wanted to put the lousy logo on, but I don't know if you can see, but it's just very slightly blurry. I think my lamp is lamping a bit too hard. Let's see if I can do it here. See that? So I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I don't want to put something out that's a bit shit. So basically that's that logo, I've drawn it so we can use it again. Then I've got this one, overstimulated and underpaid. I wish I had this when I used to work in my old job. Oh my God. I don't know if I would have the balls to have it out, but I feel like you lot have got more balls than me. And I know that you're going to be feeling the same. And then I've got another one. Oh, hang on, I need to go and just readdress my shit dinner. Oh, I love this one. Oh, again, this has been printed not that well, so I have to get this reprinted. If at first you don't succeed, cry and cry again. And then finally, what is this one? Oh, love this one. I love that I'm saying love this one as if they're not all the ones that obviously I've designed and I think are funny, so whatever. And then this one, star of the shit show. Because this is how I feel in life. I feel like I am the star of some sort of show. Like, it feels very Truman vibes because I make content, but it's all shit, isn't it? So I do very much feel like I am a star of the shit show. If the shit was a show, I would definitely be in it. Do you know what I mean? My mum was saying that. She was like, why does... She's like, shit just always seems to happen. She's like, I do sometimes feel in life I just have to laugh because there's so much shit all happening at the same time. And I'm like, babe, you seem to have passed that down, so thank you. I could have got your, you know, your nice face or your kind demeanour, but I haven't. I've just got the shit show vibes. Right, let's see what stage we're up to on this weird meal. Fuck, I've cooked it for 4 minutes. Oh, it's really floppy. Ow, fuck. Microwave on full power, 4 minutes. Shake the bag and then microwave for another 3.5 minutes. Shake it gently. This is so embarrassing. You're catching me at my lowest point here making this shit meal. I think if I'm really honest, I'm finding this stage of life just quite weird, and I feel like I'm not, like, I feel like everyone is just off doing their own shit and I don't know where I fit in that. Like, I don't know, just can't work anything out. Like, it all just feels very like regimented. Like, if I want to see my friends, you've got to kind of book in like 3 weekends in advance. If you do see them, it feels like it has to be kind of formal. Like, it has to be that like, oh, we're going to go for dinner or we're going to go for drinks or we're going to do something. Like, it's not the same as when you were younger and you would just like go and sit on someone's bed. You'd sit in someone's bed and both be on your phone and just be like, haha, you seen this person on Hinge? Yeah, haha. Like, it all feels so serious and not natural, and because of that, then the conversations you have aren't natural either. Like, there's no like, oh, my shit dinner's ready. It's not the same as when you would just be together and hanging out, so you would end up talking about random stuff. And also, because everyone's so busy, all you end up doing is like catching up, but you're not like, but then I don't know, it just feels all very serious. I miss having, I don't miss it because obviously it didn't really suit me, particularly the jobs I was doing. I do miss having like colleagues. Like, I miss having people that you were all working together on something, and then afterwards like, you'd all be like, oh, you know, should we go to the pub and have a drink, or like you have a Christmas party? Or I think I'm the kind of person that I find it quite hard to initiate plans with people and think to be like, oh, I'll come around and do that. And that's why I think I found having colleagues, like I used to have so many like friends at work. Like, I remember when I was like 25, me and like 16 of my colleagues went to Centre Parks for my birthday. And like, now I think back, I'm like, that is insane that like like, what? That me and But they were honestly like my just closest friends, and I found it so easy to be close friends with them because I was seeing them every day. So, and I wasn't seeing them in a forced way. Like, we were going to be together anyway because of work, but like in between doing work, we'd be laughing and chatting. And I really miss some of those people that I used to work with. But like, so much time has gone, I can't really randomly be like, oh, like, should we meet up? But I just feel weird. I feel a bit lonely, I think, if I'm actually honest. And it seems sad to me because I'm like, it's so weird that I've got this community on here of so many people, and I'm sure so many of us would be so like-minded, but it's just awkward because the relationship feels like quite like, sometimes I have people DM me being like, oh, you know, like, I feel like we'd be really good friends, but then, you know, if you ever want to go for a coffee or something, but the problem is it's such an imbalance because like I share my whole life and everything about me, and then quite a lot of the time the people that say that to me have got a private Instagram, and I'm like, I can't even get a feel for what you're like. And then I'm also conscious that you might meet up with me and maybe we aren't suitable in being friends, and then like, what if then we're like, oh, I've met that Holly and she's actually a bitch because now she doesn't want to hang out, and I'm like, oh, that just can't work. But I can't work out, like, how do people meet people? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you find your people? I can't work out how you do that. Or like, how do you meet up with your people that you've already got? Like, this new stage of life, I think each new stage of life, I just don't know what to do. Like, some of my friends that have got kids, I can't work out what they want me to do. Like, I'm like, do you want me to message you because you're busy? But like, do you want, like, I'm happy to come along and do things like with your kids because your kids are fun, but I'm like, what are your schedules now? Because you work part-time and the kids going here and then you're doing that. Like, and I know I should just ask them and be like, oh, do you want to meet up? Like, what should we do? But I'm so shit at just organising things that I don't do it. Or like, I think if I met up with my friends, it seems weird to me that I'd go around to their house and like their husband or like their boyfriend would be there, and I'd just be like, hello. Or like, if I invite people here, it's not the same when someone's boyfriend's also there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'd have to say to Rory, like, oh, can you like go out for a bit so I can have my friends around and we can just talk about whatever shit we want to talk about. Or like, even trying to have like, I want to have a dinner party and do like a games night, but problem is like everyone's schedules are so fucked that to get a date with all of you, it's like months in advance, and then you don't know what else is going to be in the calendar by then, so it just goes to shit. So it just feels weird. I feel like I'm in this weird stage of life. Or I feel awkward like doing a meet-up or like messaging people. Like, there's some people that I DM sometimes and being like, oh, do you want to meet up like together? It feels weird. Or I feel weird because I suppose my colleagues are other influencers, but I don't really know what to say to them, so I get a bit stuck. So yeah, I just feel a bit weird. Like, I feel like Rory, he's got like his uni mates that he sees like fairly regularly, but it kind of works because they're all at a similar stage of life, so they all like go for dinner and some drinks up in London. But I'm like, my friends are so all over the shop, and my friends are like quite sporadic, it's not groups, so it's harder to do. But then I'm like, well, how do you meet people that are in a similar stage of life to you? Like, I don't know, where do you go to meet up with people? Do you know what I mean? So that's my current 2 cents. This is going to be shit, isn't it? I also think I've struggled quite a bit because when I got my autism diagnosis, I was then like, do you know what I actually need? Where is this coming out from? I needed a bit of time to work out who I was, and also I was very burnt out and to try and get my shit back together. So now I'm trying to like resurface into the world again, but I don't know how to be like, hi everyone, like I'm actually back now. And I've also got in my head that everyone hates me now, so that's also good. Oh, sorry, you're missing the big reveal of the shit meal. But it doesn't look bad. Let's do a taste test. I'm also currently with my emetophobia and OCD trying to do more things because I let my OCD get quite bad. When I'm stressed, it gets quite bad around emetophobia. So it's like a lot of hand washing or like weird things. And my therapist suggested, and I think you should try this as well, if you are struggling with emetophobia or something along those lines, is having like a worry book or having a worry notepad. And rather than just letting my brain go loose and doing all the behaviours that I think are keeping me safe, but they're not, they're actually just keeping me thinking about emetophobia, is actually pushing against them. It's a bit like CBT, I suppose. Like with this, I'm normally like, oh my God, what if it's not cooked enough? But I'm saying to myself, you've cooked it for the right amount of time, you know it's fine, so just eat it. I'm being so weirdly vulnerable on this. I feel I'm gonna have such an emotion, like cringe hangover after posting it, because some of these things I keep like, oh, I feel like I could cry. Why have I got 2 forks out? It just feels, I think sometimes I worry because obviously I want to become a presenter and a radio presenter, and it's so interesting to me because my personality is so between two halves. Like, I love laughing and doing stupid shit, and like I find so many things funny, and I love seeing the bright side of life, and I can laugh in the face of shit, and I love having fun. Like, I really do. But at the same time, just sometimes it's a bit exhausting, like being anxious quite a lot of time, having to fight it. Like, I'm not fighting it, but I'm trying to get a hold of my mental health and stuff, and it's just fucking long sometimes. And like saying it out loud makes it feel real, like telling you about my OCD and like the lengths it goes to with like sometimes, like when I was on the plane, I like was sanitising my hands until they were like bleeding, and it feels so embarrassing because like I feel like I'm such a strong person, and I'm so proud of myself for everything I've achieved, and like making this my job, or I'm getting closer and closer to being able to have the money together for a deposit for my new house, which I can't wait for. I feel like my career is on the tip of happening. Like, I'm so sure of myself in so many other elements of my life, and then it comes to anxiety and I feel like I'm still like a 13-year-old. But I think I need to recognise the progress I have made. But you know, and you just like, so many things, I'm such a problem solver, like so many things I've been able to do. Like when I was like, I want to make content my job, like in a year I was doing it full time. But it's so frustrating. The one thing I wish out of everything I could just solve is anxiety and stuff, and that's the one thing that I can't. But I also obviously want to completely check my privilege. I'm just trying to be candid with you. I'm not trying to get you to sympathise with me, or I'm hoping maybe it would help other people, because I wish, well, the thing is, the one person I had was Zoe Sugg. Like, I used to watch her so much when I was younger, and I couldn't believe someone had anxiety and emetophobia. I thought it was just me, and watching her I find it really comforting. So I'm thinking maybe these chats will help you. One thing as well that has really helped, because I've tried like CBT, hypnotherapy, everything. One thing that I did with my therapist recently was rewind therapy. It's called something like that. And I went back to the moment that I was ill when I was 8, which kind of caused my emetophobia, and we unpicked it, and you basically go to the moment and you rewind forward and rewind back. And I also did it about when my nan died. Fuck me, sorry, this vlog is so depressing. I did rewind therapy about those two things, and it really helped, and I didn't think it would. I thought it was a bit woo-woo, but it actually has been really helpful. And the emetophobia, which might be interesting for any of you that got emetophobia, a lot of it stems down, like a lot of people, and people I've spoken to that have got emetophobia, it stems from one occasion when you were ill and maybe you felt like you weren't supported. So when I was ill, when I was 8, my mum had gone out that evening. She never went out, and I've always wanted to be around my mum all the time. Like, I'm really bad. I didn't like being I've always been very attached to my mum, but like when I was little, I like wanted to be around all the time. She'd gone out that evening when I was ill, and we rewound the memory back, and my therapist got to a point and she was like, I don't actually think it was when, oh, it makes me want to cry. She was like, I don't actually think it was when you were ill that has caused the phobia. She was like, because we went through that moment again, and I pictured being on the stairs and being sat there and being 8 years old and watching my mum leave, and at that age you can't comprehend that someone is always going to come back, or like you don't have a mobile, you don't have any of the freedoms of being like, oh no, but mum, I need, like now if I was like, I need my mum, I would just get in the car and drive there. Or like uni, I struggled with until I passed my driving test and had a car there, and I knew it was up to me if I was there or not. But obviously at 8, my mum had to have a life. My mum never went out, and she went out to the pub for like 2 hours this one time to meet some of her friends. Like, but my brain at 8 couldn't comprehend that, and didn't like the fact that if I needed her, I couldn't contact her, which obviously I could have, because I would have just said to my dad, can you call mum? And he'd been like, yeah. But your brain at that age doesn't comprehend that. And actually, the problem is now when I feel anxious about feeling sick, it's actually because I still feel like I'm that 8-year-old again on the stairs. And so my therapist was like, why don't you picture you 31-year-old you like hugging 8-year-old you on those stairs when you feel anxious or scared, and remind her that like you are a 31-year-old now and you can look after yourself. You don't need other people to look after you. Because I think as a kid, obviously being undiagnosed with ADHD and autism, I found the world outside of being with my immediate family stressful, because people didn't understand me, I didn't understand them. So why am I trying to choose a TV show to watch while I'm having this deep chat with you? So yeah, she was like, try and picture and remind yourself you're not 8 anymore. Like, if you were ill, you're not an 8-year-old. Like, you can handle things now, and you have got tools now, and you are an adult. And that weirdly has helped me so much. Like, when I feel like this and anxious and sad, I know it's actually 8-year-old me in me, and I forget that I'm 31. Like, when I'm feeling anxious, I'm always transported right back to being 8 or 13 or 17, and I do feel that I calm myself down a lot, being like, we're 31-year-old you now. Like, everything is a choice for you. You can drive somewhere if you need to. You can look after yourself. You can say no. Like, you can say yes. Like, everything's up to you. And there is a level of comfort in that. I don't know if I've explained that very well, but yeah, basically, when I have those really anxious moments, think in my head I'm 8 again, but subconsciously reminding myself that I'm not. And that I'm 31 and we can handle it. We can handle loads of things. We've gone through loads of things by the age of 31. It's really comforting. I don't know if that's helpful. Anyway, I'm going to eat my really shit pasta and watch something. God, sorry. I don't know why I'm like bearing my whole soul to you. It's a bit of a TMI, isn't it? Like, get a grip, babe. One, this isn't funny, but it, like, looking back, it is quite a ridiculous situation. So one evening a couple of years ago, I was really anxious and I had a lot of anxiety around my grandparents getting older. And I was like, oh, I'll watch Grand Designs because it will calm me down. And it was an episode about this couple that were building a big house because they were going to get both sets of grandparents to live with them. And I was like, oh my God, this is so comforting. Like, maybe this is what my future will look like. Maybe this is what happened with my grandparents and my parents. But I was anxious while watching it, and then as the show went on, the renovations took so long that 2 of the grandparents died. It's not funny, but 2 of the grandparents died. So I'd watched that to comfort myself about my grandparents, and then they were all popping off, and I was like, you actually can't write this. And then I was actually more anxious than I was, so I had to watch like 4 more episodes of Grand Designs. Now it's 4 in the morning. I think it was around lockdown. And I'm not laughing, but like the ridiculousness of that is ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyway, let's eat this actually doesn't look that shit. Like, if you're in the dumps and you needed a good dinner, like, that is actually useful to have in the freezer. Delish. Sure. Another thing that I think is helpful is to not get stuck in any feeling that you're currently feeling. Like, I know that my feelings change like the wind, and I think the best thing you can do is embrace that. So the last time you saw me, I was about to eat my sad pasta, right? Getting emotional. The pasta was delicious. And then my dad called me. And then I was talking to him and my mum, and they were sat on the sofa, and we were just laughing away. And then I've organised that I'm going to go for a coffee with my mum tomorrow, and then we're going to go out for dinner tomorrow, and I'm feeling pretty good again. And now I'm about to play on my Switch, my Nintendo Switch. Do you know what? If you're trying to think of things to ask for Christmas, I think I'm going to put a list together of things to ask for that are nothing to do with what you look like. Because I see so many gift guides that are just like skincare or makeup or clothes, whereas actually I think there's so many things that you could buy that could genuinely make you feel like proper happiness, not like that surface level that makes you feel like desired but isn't actually like giving you like proper core happiness. So I think I'll make a list on that. But my Nintendo Switch is the best Christmas gift I ever got. Like, I love it. It's so fun, and particularly if you are feeling a bit stressed or a bit anxious, it's such a nice distraction. Particularly if you've got a brain like mine. Like, I can't just relax and watch TV. I don't find that relaxing. I feel like my brain's going at a million miles an hour, whereas playing on the Switch uses just the right amount of my brain power. I'm just having these. So I make these on a Monday. They look a bit poo because I've got some tin foil stuck in them. So I made 2 floors worth. I make these little banana bites. So it's sliced banana, crunchy peanut butter, pippa nut is the best one, and then dark chocolate melted on top. I just get I think it's like 85 or 75% one from Lidl. Freeze them, and they're such a good little snack. And yeah, I do 2 bananas at the start of the week, and that does kind of last me. Then sometimes that doesn't quite hit the spot. I then normally have this. It's a bit expensive, but they're sometimes on offer. This Hue chocolate cashew butter plus pure vanilla bean. That is really tasty. That one or the almond one. Oh, I just feel so much better than I did earlier. Sorry about that. I feel like I've lowered the mood. Now the wash is out. I've got my banana boats. It's nearly the weekend. I'm about to play on the Switch. Also, I've got celebrities travelling around the world on. Who is this? I recognise him so much and I can't work out why. Let me press play. I think it's really obvious. Dylan, who is he? I think I've watched a whole series with him in it. Oh my God, it's like ringing a bell, but I can't work out what bell it's ringing. I'm like this with everything. Like, even when I meet people, my brain just wipes people from my mind. And I always think I just end up looking like such a twat. You know, when you say to someone, oh, nice to meet you, and then like, I've met you so many times, and you just think, I need to die right now. Who is he? Dylan. Dairy Girls. Oh my God, Big Boys, that's it. That is insane. I loved that show. I loved him in it. How did I forget that? Sorry, my camera died. Anyway, so now what I do is I have my evening wind down. I feel like this really resets my mind to be like, we're okay, everything's gonna be set, and tomorrow we're starting afresh. I know that if I have a good night's sleep, a lot of the next day everything's manageable. I think what it is actually, I've been reading more and more about the brain, particularly when you're neurodivergent, and it says that normally, right, when you have a stressful scenario, you've got the amygdala, and that
I don't know if I've pronounced that right, but that handles like your initial response. Like when there's stressful situations, that's the thing that's like trying to solve that, not solve it. That's the one that's like kind of like pumping around to your body, being like, something's going on and we need to sort it and it's bad and we need to help it. And then you normally have your prefrontal cortex that comes in and helps like reason with the amygdala and be like, calm down, like let's think of a logical solution, like whatever. Like I think the amygdala is a little bit more like fight or flight, and the prefrontal cortex is kind of like let's reason. And so when you're stressed, particularly when you're neurodivergent and you've had a day of, probably for you guys, work or uni or kids or I don't know, general stresses, quite often being in a neurotypical world, or even this is actually for anyone, even if you're not neurodivergent, if you've had a day that's had quite a few stressful moments, that's been building up and up and up, and you've not had chance to then like reprocess and rationalise. And I was reading in my Psychologies magazine that overnight it's when everything kind of, the prefrontal cortex and everything has time, and it's almost like, I feel like I go, at the end of the day, everything in my brain's like, you go to sleep and it's like there's little people in my brain that are like tidying things away, being like, okay, that memory can go here, or like, okay, we've got that concern, what do you think we can do about it? Oh, let's do that here. Like I picture I've got all these little people in my head that are then like rearranging all my stuff while I'm asleep, so that when I wake up again there's been space to think. Because I think in the day, particularly with social media or like the fact that there's WhatsApp and stuff, like you're constantly contactable, there's no real actual proper downtime, you're always consuming something and feeling something about it. And that's why in your sleep, that's when like the little people in your brain are like, okay, let's sort that. I'm a very big visual learner. That's why I say like my people in my brain. Like when I go to sleep, I lie down, I picture me being on this really big chair in front of a fire, and then there's someone with a broom that's like dusting all my worries away.
And also I've always been a messy person. I've never been someone that tidies before I go to sleep, but the difference it's made for my brain means I stick at it. So I'm gonna do like a sound over this because I want to listen to my music while I do it. So let me show you. It's not perfect, but like we're starting off on a pretty good foot. And then in here, there's still like bits, but there's just, honestly, I've just run out of room in this house, like this stuff. I need to work out storage a bit better. In general, I think that looks pretty cozy. Stuff that needs to go on the stairs is waiting for its time to voyage up there. This is what I've realised. It's before, like, everything had to be perfect. I'm like, okay, now I'm like, it doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be done. Then I finished the evening, my last one, with these Twinings Digest teas. I like the taste. There's not too much going on, obviously, because I'm quite fussy, and they just make me like, I don't know, it just feels like quite a nice routine of having something warm before you go to sleep. Sometimes I'll have a nice little shower as well. That will be quite calming. Oh, is this hot? Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I'm going to cozyify this room. So first up, this is going to seem really stupid because I know I'm about to get in it, but I like to get into a freshly made bed. It's only because I was moping around in here earlier that it's not made. Normally it looks a bit nicer. And then we do the nice lighting. Big light off, put everything on charge, get all my devices off. Oh, you can kind of see it. Look how cosy this looks. And I've got this moon, and it's got different settings as well. I normally hang on, put the TV on. I can't see anything, shit. And then look, it's got these different settings, but annoyingly, they go too quickly for me. Like I want that to be slower, but that's as slow as they go. So I need to ask for another one for Christmas, and then I might swap this one with my mum's one because my mum's one doesn't move. Because that is just too quick while I'm also watching TV. Very cosy. Then I'll show you my skincare routine actually, just to finish this off as a proper influencer. So I would normally wash my face, but I actually really can't be arsed, and I didn't have a shower that long ago, so I'm not going to. This routine is about like making me feel cosy more so than what it does for my skin, even though it has made quite a big difference to my skin, probably doing it. So that would normally be a thorough wash, but like I said, I can't be arsed. Get a new towel every day because I don't know how long some of you have been here. My skin got so bad about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and it's been a journey trying to get it back. The only advice I can give you, basically I was getting like spots all up the sides of my cheek. I've still got some like texture there, but it's kind of cleared up here and then all along here. The only advice I can give you is like less is more. Like when I first started getting the spots, I was like tried like everything, like acids and shit, and I reflect, and that was not the right thing to do. So then I stripped it all back. I just used like CeraVe's hydrating cleanser. Bioma's got a really good one as well that I'm using at the minute. I also picked up this in America. I think they've got it here. This is really good for getting your makeup off, but I only would use that if I had like makeup or like a lot of sun cream on. And then I use, well actually I have got something new. Now my skin is better and can tolerate things again. I bought this Ordinary AHA 30% thing, which is meant to be good for texture for this stuff I've got inside my face. So I might actually try that this evening because I'm not going to go to sleep yet because Rory's not back. But in general, the only things I wore my skin was really bad was this Dermatica 20% azelaic acid. This changed my skin. This completely, I was using it to help my cheeks, but this actually completely, my forehead just doesn't have texture. Like my forehead had texture the whole of my 20s, and this just literally zapped it off. Like, you know, people say a product does something. This is the only product that I can absolutely guarantee was good. I swear by this. I have it on subscription. I've gone through like 8 bottles of it. Then for moisture, I use Aveeno's Calm and Restore. Basically, these are all that one isn't, but the rest of this is all recommendations from Natalie O'Neill because she knows her shit. Now I'm panicking it's Natalie Neal. I think it's Natalie O'Neill. Then I use just a boring moisturiser, Cetaphil, but it doesn't irritate my skin. And the sun cream I use has been really good for problematic skin is this one by Beauty by Josen. It doesn't even feel like there's anything on your skin. I really like that. I want to try the gel one, I think even better. I do also use now, because my skin's better, Medicate Retinol. Yeah, I got the lightest one because I was scared after using another one. And then the idea is you build up to their like stronger strength ones. Like this is expensive, but it's really good. Morning. Sorry, my laptop died. I can't remember what I was last talking about. But my camera died. I think I was midway through showing you my skincare stuff that I use. But yeah, I don't think there was anything else I was going to say. I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. I'm feeling much better today. I woke up, gave myself a little bit of a lie-in, and then was just kind of like, right, let's go again. And yeah, I think with brain things, one of the key things that's really hard to do, it takes a bit of practice, and I do think doing meditations really helped me do that. I use Headspace for that. They don't know me from Adam, I'm not sponsored by them. And it just makes it easy. It makes it easy to build into a routine, and it's guided. I don't think I could just sit there and be like, right, I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes. There's someone that's like talking to you, so it's easier. But yeah, oh, I know. Let me show you quickly what I was telling you about. This is my lamp. It's Philips, and you can turn it on. Oh, normally you can turn it on by tapping it, but basically, yeah, it's got this light, and it like gradually, it doesn't flicker. It's just because you're on the camera, and it gradually turns on and mimics daylight, which is so much better than that horrible iPhone alarm going off and waking me up. Because that, when I hear that on holiday, it's always on the day that you're flying back from holiday that I hear that alarm going off, and I'm like, sends off my fight or flight. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I don't know if you'll necessarily have enjoyed it, but maybe there's been nuggets of it that are helpful. I think a lot of these moments are quite hidden. I think a lot of us experience them, but like don't really talk about them because it's hard to explain to other people, isn't it? Because you're a bit like, I'm not sad, like I don't want sympathy, and there's nothing other people can do. But it feels quite lonely. It's a weird one because it's not like something has happened to you, so you feel like you can't just be like, I don't know. I understand that for a lot of people it can feel quite lonely, or it can feel like it's only you that goes through it. But I want you to know there's actually, like, because I get so many DMs from people, I know there's so many of us that are in the same boat, so don't feel like you're alone. And I'm sure a lot of you that follow me, like, I'm sure a lot of you in the comments are kind of have similar feelings as well. I think that was the main thing for me when I was younger. I was like, oh, this is only me that's experiencing this, but it's not. There's a lot more people than you realise are experiencing it as well. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure my next vlog will be more upbeat. So we've got the podcast every Wednesday and then a vlog every Sunday. So yeah, that feels so funny doing that like Addy, like, hey guys, watch this and this after this vlog, but whatever. Anyway, love you loads. Have a lovely week. Bye.